Hi, this is Paul. I wanted to talk about the Mets situation. I want to actually make a little bit longer video than I normally do. I've been making shorts about the Mets and their offseason so far. They lost Edwin Diaz, the best closer in baseball, and they've lost Pete Alonso, the Mets all-time home run leader. Okay, and what's so I don't know if Steve Cohen has told David Stearns to cut payroll. He may have, but we have to see what's going to be done because he was supposed to be competing with the Dodgers. You basically handed the Dodgers another World Series by giving them the best closer, allowing them to sign the best closer in baseball. Because what's called again, David Stearns with this small-minded mentality, small market mentality, only offered Edwin Diaz a 3-year contract, which is talking about, oh, there's wiggle room. No, you should have offered him a 4-year contract, okay, with a team option for a 5th year. Okay, he's the best closer in baseball. Okay, but they messed around, and Edwin Diaz said, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna win a ring, and I'm gonna go there and go to the Dodgers. And again, David Stern, his penny pinching ways, okay, again strikes again. And now Pete Alonso, what's even more disgraceful about Pete Alonso, I know there was a good chance of them not signing him, but to not even offer him a contract, I think they said the Mets were only willing to go to 3 years, but they never even made an offer to him. Okay, and he signed with the Orioles for 5 years and got his $155 million, I think it is. So I don't blame Pete for taking the deal, although I thought he was going to the Red Sox, to be honest. Okay, but I don't blame Pete. Again, the disrespect from David Stearns. Okay, constantly talking about Pete Alonso has horrible defense. Pete Alonso's defense is not the best, but it was not the way they make it seem like he's an absolute butcher. Okay, which is far from the case. Okay, I don't know how many errors he saved the Mets, Francisco Lindor and stuff, scooping up those balls and the stuff. And the trade, Pete, and that's trade to let Pete sign with the Orioles, it's shameful because now Juan Soto has no protection in the lineup. Now they did sign. I found out today when I was looking on my phone earlier. They signed Jorge Polanco. I think he played for the Mariners last year. He's a switch hitter who plays infield, and he hit 26 home runs last year, and I think almost 90 RBIs. So he has a little pop. So I think he can probably kind of replace Brandon Nimmo in the lineup. Okay, and he's like I say, he's a switch hitter. They say he's an infielder, but he may play first. I think they said he only played one game at first base, so I don't know if he's going to play first base or he's just going to maybe be the DH. Okay, he's a switch hitter, and he can, yeah, which is good. And then he got a little pop. He can probably hit around 30 home runs or so. So that's good in that way. And he's a switch hitter. And they said he hit 2 home runs off. I didn't even watch the playoffs since the Mets lost. Didn't make the playoffs. And they said he hit 2 home runs off Tariq Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball. Okay, during the playoffs. So shows you he has pop. So I don't like. It's a 2-year contract, $20 million apiece. Again, it seems like the Mets are being frugal and not signing anybody to long-term deals, which I don't know how that's going to work because you can't get the best. You're not going to sign the best players in baseball going by giving them cheap contracts. And like a lot of people said, Juan Soto, if it was up to David Stearns, Juan Soto wouldn't be a Met right now. That was all Steve Cohen that signed Juan Soto. Okay, that was all him. Okay, because I think if you were left to his devices, David Stearns, Juan Soto wouldn't be on this team. Okay, now I'm hoping he has more moves to go. I would like him to get the Japanese guy, Okatama, I think that's his name, who plays first base and third base. He's right-handed. They said he had like 6 or 7 years of hitting over 30 home runs, and they think he's a better hitter than Murakaya, who I think is the 25-year-old. They said he can hit for power and stuff, but there's doubts about him hitting anything over above 93 miles per hour. They say he has trouble with that, so there's questions about him. But I hope they sign the Japanese guy, Okatama. Let him play first base. And let this guy, Polanco, be the DH. And I hope they sign Bellinger because I don't think they're going to sign Tucker. Because I think Tucker's going to get a 6 or 7 year deal from whoever. I don't know if it's going to be Toronto or maybe the Red Sox, whoever's going to do it. Because I don't know if they don't bring Alec Bregman back, they may, I think, sign Tucker. I think the Red Sox may sign Tucker. Now I'm thinking, what if let's say the Red Sox sign Tucker, right? And Alec Bregman signs with the Mets. That means where are you gonna put Brett Beatty? Or would you put Brett Beatty at first? which is, I don't. But he's not a first base. He's a good third base. That's why unless they're going to trade, unless they know they're going to trade Brett Beatty to Detroit for Tarek Skubal. I know because like I said, there were rumors that Detroit likes Brett Beatty. So if you can include him, only if you can get Tarek Skubal, okay, would I include Brett Beatty in that? But I wouldn't include Jonah Tong. I really don't want to trade Jonah Tong. I give him if I could, I give him Brett Beatty, and then you have to sign Brett. You'd have to sign Bregman. Let him play third, and then you get Bellinger, okay, and let him play left field, and he can play left field, center, all the outfield positions, and first base part of the time too. But that's what I would do. I would not. The only way I trade Brett Beatty to Detroit, because they said that you're gonna have to probably give him 4 or 5 prospects, but I would give them 4 prospects. I give them 2 minor leaguers and 2 major. Like I said, because they were thinking about trading Peterson. If you trade Peterson and Kodai Senga, let them have them 2. Give them Sprout. That's 3. You give them Jet Williams, okay, or even one of the younger pitchers. Let it be 5 players for Tarek Skubal. Brett Beatty, like I said, I really don't want to trade Brett Beatty, but if we can get Tarek Skubal, I would do that. Because then you could also sign, I think you could sign Bregman, okay, try to sign Bregman and let him play third. Since Beatty will be gone, you can let him play third. See, that's why I say you can't be saying you're going to sign somebody to a longer than 3-year contract, because Bregman, I don't know how old he is. I think he might be 31 or 32. If you can sign him to maybe like a 4-year deal or something, give him a high AIV, higher average, yearly average, and maybe he'll sign with you, and then you can stick him at, and he's a righty, okay, you can stick him at third base, and then sign Cody Bellinger, because again, like I said, I think Tucker is either going to sign with Toronto or he's going to sign with the Red Sox, because I think if Bregman doesn't come back, they're going to grab Tucker, okay, and I don't think the Mets are going to go that high for Tucker, okay. Then I say the Mets sign Bellinger, and you can stick him in left field, put Carson Bench in center, or you can put Soto in left field and put Bellinger in right, okay. And again, get Bregman. I would love to get Okamada, but the only reason I would trade Brett Beatty is if I can get Tarek Skubal, and I would try. Again, like I said, I would try not to trade Jonah Tong. I give him Brett Beatty, provided I could sign, like I said, Alex Bregman for third base, and you sign him to like a 4-year deal. Yeah, you can sign him for a 4-year deal, get him, Brett Beatty, Cody Bellinger, and you get Okatama to play first, and then again, because Bregman can hit 20 to 25 home runs, and Bellinger can hit 20 to 25 home runs. And I don't know how many, I don't know what type of hitter Carson Bench is. He might be a singles hitter, one of those guys. So I don't know what his power position is. And then plus you got Polanco to be the DH and Okatama on first. So you got at least 4 guys with Okatama. If you get Okatama, Bergman, Bellinger, and Polanco, that's 4 guys that can hit at least 25 home runs. Okay, right there. You got 4 guys that can hit, and that would make up more. That would more than make up for the loss. And again, like I said, I think the only reason I would trade Brett Beatty, who I don't want to trade, I would love him to be the everyday third baseman. Okay, but the only way I would trade him is if that seals the deal for getting Tarek Skubal. Okay, that's the only way. And like I said, and they also again make the trade for Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill. If you can do that kind of trade, give them. Like I said, I'd give them. You can give him Kodai Senga, Mark Vientos, and maybe even Jet Williams or something. I would give them like 3 or 4 prospects for those, and some major league talent for Trevor McGill and Freddie Peralta. I think they may be able to work that out. And if they do that, if the Mets do those moves, then I'll be more than satisfied. And these crazy people talk about trade Francisco Lindor. No, dummy. Francisco Lindor is one of the main attractions. If you trade Francisco Lindor, people will really stop coming to the City Field. Okay, him and Soto. I don't care if they can't stand each other, which I don't believe at all. But those are your two stars currently right now on your roster. Okay, so you have to keep them. Okay, and if you get, like I said, if you get Okatama for first base, you got Polanco to be the DH. You get either keep Brett Beatty at third or sign Alec Bregman, and then sign Cody Bellinger, and then get Tariq Skubal and Peralta. Then you got two guys for the rotation, and like I said, you trade because you're gonna trade. Hopefully, I trade Senga and Peterson, so you can put Tariq Skubal and Freddie Peralta in their rotation. So Tariq Skubal, Freddie Peralta, David Holmes, Manaya, and who else is on that rotation? There's somebody I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, and McLean, and then maybe Sprout could be the sixth man, or maybe I don't know if they're going to start in the minor leagues. Okay, or they can put him in the bullpen, and then you can work on solving your bullpen, getting bullpen arms. But you strengthen the bullpen if you get Trevor McGill to go with Devin Williams. That's a good back at the end of the rotation, and back at the end of the bullpen. But I hope they do these moves because these Mets are really pissing off a lot of fans. And like I said, they keep making these small moves and don't get, like I said, they need two pitches for the rotation. They need a left fielder and they need a first baseman. Because I'm not going to say Polanco. I'm going to say Polanco's going to be the DH because I don't think they said he only had one game experience at first base. So you're not going to put, especially if you have run prevention, you're not going to stick somebody that's a middle infielder at first base. At least I don't know if the Mets say that's what he's going to play. But I don't know, those are the rumors. But I think he'll be the DH. And then I think if you do those things, that's enough to change the core around. And you've got four guys that can hit at least 25 home runs and play good defense. And you get two pitchers that will definitely improve your rotation by getting Tariq Skubal and Freddie Peralta and Sean Manaya, who else? And McLean and Clay Holmes. And then maybe Sprout, because I think Jonah Tong is going to spend time, if he doesn't get traded in one of these trades for the pitchers and stuff. He's going to start the year in AAA, I think, and probably stay down there until after the All-Star, after he develops a second or third pitch. Okay, but I really don't want to trade Jonah Tong. I really don't. We don't have to, like I said, and I really don't want to trade Brett Beatty, but I would trade him if it gets me Tariq Skubal. Okay, if I say we'll give you, let's see. We'll give you Sprout, Peterson. No, because I'm gonna save Kodai Senga for the Milwaukee. Okay. Although I don't know Milwaukee, then you probably have to eat some of that money if you trade him to Milwaukee because Milwaukee's trying to cut payroll, and Kodai Senga has 2 more years, so the Mets would have to, I think, eat some of that money if they would trade him to Milwaukee. Okay. But I would trade them. I would give him David Peterson for Tariq Skubal. David Peterson, Sprout, Jet Williams, not Carson Bench. Maybe what's that guy's name? Or maybe you can trade Carson Bench or either the left-handed guy. There's a left-handed. They have a first baseman, outfielder. Maybe you can trade. That's 4 guys right there for and then maybe you can even throw in Jeff McNeil. Okay. But I think it might save Jeff McNeil for the Milwaukee trade. Give them Milwaukee. You give them Jeff McNeil, Kodai Senga. I'll give them Mauricio, and then maybe even Jet Williams for those 4 for Trevor McGill and Freddie Peralta. So that's what I would do. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the Mets, and hopefully David Stern has more signings to go. Like I said, I think he really has to get Bellinger and either Bregman or Bellinger, keep Beatty at third. Sign Okatama. I think he would be a great addition. He's right-handed and he can hit almost 30 home runs. I think you got to get him. And like I said, Carson Bench will be, and then you got to make the trade for Tariq Skubal. Okay, give him like 2 or maybe even 3 minor league prospects and 2 major league prospects to get Tariq Skubal. That's what I would do. If they needed 5 guys, I give them the 5 guys, three prospects and 2 major league talent. Okay, that they can slide into their rotation. They can slide Peterson right into their rotation. Okay, that'd be great. So anyway, let me know what you think of the Mets plans so far this season. What do you think of them? Feel free to leave comments down below. In the description box, there are links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also a link to my main channel, Trepacer, as well. Also a link down below to my Patreon. My Patreon's only $5 a month, over 200 videos on there. Pay special attention because my Patreon page is probably going to be closing. I got to check into it and see when the next payment is, because I may just close the payment, close the my Patreon page down, then maybe open it up later. And I may open a membership page on my YouTube channel, on this channel. I may do that if I can get it, because I'm doing these YouTube shorts and they're getting lots of views. And if I can get this channel monetized, then I may do a membership thing on this channel, and I'll sell. That way, I got a merchandise store, so I can sell my shirts and stuff on my YouTube channel too. I can put the link. Well, I already got the link down there, but I can actually put it as part of my membership thing too. So fingers crossed. Okay, that happens. So anyway, in the description box as well, I have a link down to my merchandise there where I sell hats, t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, hoodies, water bottles, teddy bears for men, women, unisex. Follow the link, it'll take you to my merchandise store. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Paul saying so long, and take care.